Hello, good morning, everyone. So let's have our daily briefing for today. And let's have a quick market recap on yesterday's data. Okay, so first things, we have the unemployment rate for Germany for the month of November. So the previous data was 5.4%, and the market forecast at 5.3%. So the actual data, it's 5.3%, so did not beat the market forecast, but it's lower compared to the previous data. Followed by the inflation rate for Eurozone yearly basis for the month of November. So the previous data was 4.1%, and the market forecast at 4.5%. And the actual data, it's 4.9%, so it beats the market forecast and the previous data. Followed by the GDP, or gross domestic product, for Canada quarterly basis for the third quarter. So the previous data is negative 3.2%, and the market forecast at 2.9%. And the actual data, it's 5.4%. So it beats the market forecast and the previous data as well. But however, last night, there's a lot of things happen, especially those financial products that is paired by the dollar. So let's take a look on the platform. And first thing is, let's check on the dollar index. All right, so as you can see here, let me just remove this first. Okay. So as you can see here on the 1 hour chart, or let me just switch this one, the 15 minutes time frame. Last night, Jerome Powell, or the Fed Chairman Jerome Powell had a speech, and it helped the dollar goes up all the way to 96.50 territory. So from 95.4 went up sharply from 96.50. So basically what happened last night is Fed Chairman Jerome Powell said during his speech that the Fed policymakers will discuss in December whether to end the bond purchases a few months earlier than expected. And he also pointed out that the US economy is strong as of this moment, and the labor supply growth has stagnated, and the high inflation rate is expected to continue until the mid 2022. And that is why the dollar index went up sharply after the speech, but also a lot of financial products were affected with this one, most especially gold. Okay, so we can see here clearly during the 15 minutes time frame that the gold went down sharply from 1807 per ounce all the way right here until 1770 per ounce. So that is 370 pips in just one speech. So that's very volatile. And let's take a look on the euro dollar as well. So same goes with this one. It went down sharply around the 1.1373 all the way to 1.1248. So that's 124 pips move. Also with the British pound against the dollar, went down as well. So from 1.3359 went down sharply all the way to 1.3224. So that's 135 pips as well. So it's actually a hawkish tone for Jerome Powell last night, and that is why the dollar was boosted. So let's get back to our PPT. And earlier today, we have the API crude oil stock exchange. So the previous data is 2.307 million. And the actual data, it's negative 0.747 million. And during the Asian session, we have the gross domestic product for Australia quarterly basis for third quarter. So the previous data is 0.7%, and the market forecast at negative 2.7%. So the actual data, it's negative 1.9%. So it's a good data actually, but it's still on the negative figures for Australia. It did not beat the previous data as well. And during the European session, so later at 3 p.m., we have to focus on retail sales for Germany, monthly basis and yearly basis for the month of October. And we also have the manufacturing PMI for Germany and UK as well, 4 to 5 p.m. and then 5:30 p.m. later. And also the US session, we have to focus on the ADP, or the private sector employment for US for the month of November. So the previous data was 571K, but it's actually forecasted much lower compared to the previous one. So let's see what will happen later. Followed by the manufacturing PMI for Canada. So the previous data is 57.7, and they are forecasting it much lower as well at 57.4. And the US manufacturing PMI still the same at 59.1. And also 11 p.m. we have speech again with Jerome Powell. So let's see what will happen later for the dollar. And also we have some ISM manufacturing PMI, so it's forecasted higher. So for the ADP, if the data beats the market expectations, same goes with the manufacturing PMI and then the ISM data, the dollar might continue to be on the bullish momentum, or it may continue to go up. So let's see what will happen later. All right. So thank you everyone for joining our daily briefing for today. Stay safe and have a great day.